Are you ready? What? I said, are you ready? Yeah! Can't steal it! Woo! Wheel and deal it! The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. You sweet to be star.
It's showtime, folks!
Welcome to the Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
And his name is John Cena!
His name is John Cena. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out, episode 76. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty, and I'm trying to wake myself up a little bit.
He's old.
I know.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
This is on Saturday, by the way, not Sunday. But
yes, we have been recording a lot. That's Josh Cole, baby, by the way. He is with us today.
How does it feel to be 40?
I'm not 40. I hit 30. But we have been normally recording on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes a better way to do that because of just all the news stories for wrestling. But they are getting ready to move studios. So there's been this big thing going on around here. You know, Josh, you've been here. We were in the old studio. We got moved over here to the other side of the building. Well, guess what? Next weekend, we will actually be in the brand new studio.
Moving on up.
We are moving on up. We'll have the on-air sign.
Sweet.
Except the on-air sign over there is just kind of right in your face, so we don't have to look over like this to see it.
I never really look over there, but it's there.
Jason does.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're live.
Yeah, we are live. We're semi-live.
Yeah.
We're semi-live. But, yes, John Cena I don't know if I would consider John Cena a full heel.
He's a human.
He is. He is a human. If you have not
justified human.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to get into. Is John Cena's promo that he just did on Monday Night Raw. It did not come across like 100% heel.
Mm-hmm.
I empathized with him.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, man, you really, like, he got drugged through the ringer for years.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm just a human. He's not a heel. He's not a face.
Mm-hmm.
He's John Cena.
A lot of people
Wabadoo.
were like, oh, he copied Roman Reigns' promo where he's like, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. Well, it's like, okay, sure, the first two parts are basically the same, but the last part, the intent is completely different.
Exactly. Like, that is not how I took his promo.
I saw the similarity in it, but I didn't take it that way.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling has been around for so long. You are going to see similarities in certain gimmicks, certain stories, certain matches. Like, I think it was on Dark Side of the Ring, which the first episode comes out March 25th, so that's here in a couple of days. Hell in a Cell.
Called it.
Yep, Mankind versus The Undertaker. That's the very first episode they're going to talk about. Yep, Josh called it. But it's just like in some Dark Side of the Ring episode, Jim Cornette's talking. He has a book that has like everything that happened in professional wrestling of its existence, and really has been rehashed throughout the years.
I mean, that happens basically in any kind of medium of entertainment.
Yeah, everybody has their what's the word I'm looking for? Inspirations.
Yeah.
I mean, Abby and I were watching an old episode of Saturday the other day, and it had Andy Kaufman in it. Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. And as soon as I heard Nature Boy, I immediately was thinking I thought it was Buddy Rogers.
Yeah.
So then Pandora's box is open, and I'm sitting there explaining to her about, Ric Flair's Nature Boy, but also Buddy Rogers is Nature Boy, but Ric Flair's gimmick is inspired a lot from Buddy Rogers and this and that and yada yada yada. Pandora's box is closed.
Yeah. Well, it's like in music. There's like this whole saying that like nothing really original has been written in years and years. It's just how you write it differently from the other person, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, creativity does limits.
Yeah.
And you can only do so many spots.
There are only so many different rhythms.
Yeah, exactly. You can only do so much stuff. You change it a little bit. Add your own little flavor to it. But yeah, I did not take the John Cena promo as a heel. I didn't take it as a face either. He was simply a human.
Yeah, and a lot of people have
and
done
he's got
this,
feelings.
Yeah, a lot of people who've turned heel have done like a very similar promo, like turning on the fans kind of thing. But it was like a reaction to what, opposed to years and years and years of building to this.
Exactly, and in a way, I felt like this promo broke the fourth wall more than previous promos with this type of formula.
Yeah.
Because of just how, and I don't know if you picked up on this, it was kind of like there was a point, he's sitting there, he's going, you're the Let's Go Cena guy. Mm-hmm. That's you. And he's basically saying that, the Let's Go Cena people are just as much to blame as the Cena sucks people. And what does that sound like, Josh?
Yeah.
CM Punk, the pipe bomb, when he says people are just as much to blame, who meet him at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning and shove a promo in his face and everything. Just rehashed a little bit. Don't know if that's exactly where that came from, but that definitely gave the vibe there of that.
Especially that one little kid.
Man, we were talking about that off the air, and I was getting ready to start going into it, and I was like, no, we got to talk about this on the show. Man, that little kid.
Yeah.
That poor little kid. Imagine this, Josh.
Yeah.
All right, you live in a foreign country. You live in Europe. WWE is from America. They finally come to your town or close to your town, and your favorite John Cena, who even if WWE showed up, you didn't know if John Cena was going to be there, but you find out John Cena is going to be there, and he singles you out. That kid looked like his whole world was shattered when they cut the camera to him.
Did you see that WWE posted a video right before that? No. He's like, I love you, John Cena.
Oh, no. No, John. Maybe he is a heel.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John Cena, like I said, he comes out. He says he's not a heel. He's not a face. He's a human. He talked about how the fans did nothing but take from him just, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? That whole part. Saying that he is in a toxic, dysfunctional relationship with the Let's Go Cena people, including kids.
Yeah.
And that's the child that we're talking about. Sorry, kiddo. I know that you're probably not listening to this because you don't speak English, but, sorry. I mean, from America. Cena even went as far as to say that we will get no new gear, no new music, because everyone's time is up and his time is now.
Yeah, it would have been cool to hear, Bad Guy or even the Dr. Thugonomics theme or, change his gear up, but it makes sense to not do it because it's what we would have wanted.
Exactly. I'm not gonna lie. When I watched it, I felt a person like that was personal to me because man, we were talking about new gear and stuff on the show. Here comes Cena out no. But no, I think that is smart actually to do it that way. Have him come out looking like regular old John Cena.
Yeah,
but it's not the same John Cena.
I'm not changing. You changed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Cody did come out to tell Cena he was looking forward to wrestling the real John Cena, and I won't say exactly what he said to him, but it's not this whiny version of him.
Yeah.
And you noticed when Cody came out, John didn't really have a whole lot to say.
He was getting ready to, and Cody cut him off. I guess they're just waiting to build that more.
Yeah, it could very well be. I know that I don't have the exact dates right here in front of me, but the next 3 or 4 dates for John Cena are all on Monday Night Raw until he gets to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then after WrestleMania, it's all SmackDown.
Yeah.
Except for I think he's part of Saturday night's main event at one point.
Probably.
So can't say yay, can't say nay. Is this a sign that Cena might get that 17th world title? Do you think so, Josh?
He's going to do it. He's going to get the big one.
I think there's a strong possibility for that.
I think you put the title on him, let Cody take some time off, and then maybe they have a rematch at SummerSlam. I don't know.
Maybe, or because Randy Orton's part of SmackDown, right?
Yes.
He's part of that brand.
Yeah.
The undisputed, the WWE title
is
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
why not just have a heel John Cena win the title, hold on to it for the rest of the year? Follow me on this. Hold on to it for the rest of the year. And leading up to, because he says after December he's done. He's not coming back.
That's what he says.
That's what he says.
He wears a salmon jacket, so let's see.
Yeah, well, he comes out with a salmon jacket. You know that he lied.
Yeah.
He lied straight to your faces, including you, child, in particular.
Wait. What color shirt was he wearing when he announced his retirement?
I don't know. I don't think it was salmon colored, though. It would be hilarious if he actually got the actual salmon suit from Mark Henry, just got it retailored to fit him.
Yeah.
That would be quite hilarious.
Or even AJ's blue suit.
That's true. That's very true. But anyway, so follow me on this.
Yeah.
John Cena wins, gets the 17th world title. Cody had a good run. He had a good year-long run with the title. John Cena's the champ. Keep John Cena as the champ towards the end of the year. Just keep having him win and win and win and win. And who's the one person that can take the title off of John Cena? And it's not Cody.
Mr. Big Bad Orton. He's
yes.
hearing voices.
A babyface Randy Orton has to step up and take down a heel John Cena to take the title off of him before Cena is gone out the door with the title. Very Money in the Bank 2011-esque.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm thinking in my head.
I mean, it could work also, but who knows? We might see them face off at Backlash because that's in St. Louis, and that's Orton's hometown.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
But that could be a first encounter, of course.
That very well could be. Hold on, I'm going to look this up. When is Backlash? We were talking about this off the air, actually.
Yeah, mid-May-ish. I don't remember exactly.
May 10th.
May 10th, okay.
Wow, it's only a few weeks after WrestleMania.
Huh,
okay. And it's in St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm going to miss that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio rocking out to
that's
Lincoln
right.
Park.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're going to the festival up in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy safe travels and all of that.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll do predictions. We looked in the next month, and Josh and I also found this out off the air. Next month, there's 4 episodes in the month of April for our show. 3 of them are prediction shows. So my title, I don't know if I'm gonna have it. Even though I'm the current champion, we'll see. We will see. But yeah, there is a possibility that could be the first time that they meet. Yeah. Maybe just have them cross paths there. I don't know. And this also hangs on the fact if Cena wins the 17th world title.
Yeah.
Which this is just my opinion on this. Take it for what it is. I think there is a strong possibility that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because truth be told, Cody has had a good run, but I don't think it started off cold, and it has slowly built.
Yeah, there's been a couple of good feuds within it, but overall it hasn't been quite to the level I think people would have liked it to have been.
Exactly.
Like, there was... Yeah.
Yeah. I lost this train of thought there.
Kevin Owens, that was a good one. This one with John Cena, but before that, I mean, there was the solo, but that was
Yeah, that one, that was still like remnants of the bloodline.
Yeah.
It was just a fallout from that.
Yeah.
He hasn't really had, like, it's going to be, I think it's going to be memorable because of what led up to it. It's another one of those cases of what the chase to the title was more compelling than the actual title run.
Yeah.
Which happens from time to time. But yeah, have Cody drop the belt, get him out of the main event picture, let him cool off a little bit, and then just have heel Cena just do his thing throughout the year. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
Here would be a fun fact. So technically, the Universal Championship is still active under the Undisputed title. If John Cena wins the Undisputed title, he'll be the only wrestler to have held the previous World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE Championship, and the Universal Championship. By a technicality.
I never even thought of it like that.
I've been wondering this for years of who's going to be the first person to hold those 3 titles. And now it's like, well, they got another World Heavyweight Championship. Who's going to be the first one to hold all 4 of them? It's going to be harder with the Universal title sort of out of the picture. But,
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It's a possibility.
My thought on that is just because those are the 3, now 4 original World Championships WWE's created.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll see. And like I said, a lot of this hangs on whether or not Cena can even beat Cody, or they even pull the trigger on that. I can see it. I think it is a strong possibility, but who knows? But we will see. WrestleMania is April 19th and 20th. Is it night 2? Are they fight? Are they going
It's got to be.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the main event of night 2. I mean, I know that Jey Uso is going against Gunther, and they're, he
said he doesn't care where he's on the card as long as he's on it and beats Gunther.
Well, I mean, I understand that from a kayfabe perspective, but like from a personal standpoint, you win the Royal Rumble, don't you want to at least close one night?
Yeah. Well, I always hate that they said, "Oh, you main event WrestleMania," when there's been a handful of times that has not been the case.
Yeah.
Like they need to drop that whole main event thing and just say you get the world title match.
Yeah. I mean, because first one that comes to my mind,
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, there's that one. Asuka, that's one.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Okay, just spitfire it.
Sheamus.
I was thinking like Undertaker WrestleMania 24.
Seth Rollins.
Okay.
WrestleMania 24.
Or was that? No, it was Undertaker and Batista. No, Undertaker and
the year Undertaker won, he main evented.
Okay. Let's see,
but yeah, Seth Rollins, the year he won, which was WrestleMania 35, he opened the show.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, which was 33, he was somewhere in the middle because Undertaker and Roman closed the show. Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka both won the 2018 Rumbles. And,
I remember that was a very exciting thing. That was the first women's Rumble.
Yeah,
and that was a huge thing. And then Shinsuke Nakamura winning it. I remember that was a huge thing. And then a lot of the New Japan fans were clamoring for this because AJ Styles is a champ at the time. Shinsuke's going to challenge him. And then what do we get? Yeah. Something that I can't fully say on the air.
Yeah.
But it was very lackluster.
Yeah.
If you were not watching around that time, it was very lackluster. Very much. It could have been better.
Yeah.
With the talent that they had at their disposal right there, it could have been a lot better.
Yeah. Like with that WrestleMania, but Brock and Roman closed that WrestleMania. Actually, now I think about it, I think only one women's Rumble winner. No, two. Two women's Rumble winners have actually main evented. Becky Lynch when she won.
Yep.
And then Bianca Belair main evented night one of WrestleMania 37. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's that. Now, well, I guess it would just depend on what is going on around that time, because I've always kind of been under the belief that the champ should close the show, but I think under certain circumstances that should not be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Rumble winner should close the show at WrestleMania, but again, depending on the circumstances, that can be.
Yeah, which I've always one of the reasons I've always hated the whole they main event is sometimes the story is just not really there, like the Tiffany Charlotte story.
Yeah, Triple H and Chris Jericho WrestleMania 18.
Yeah,
it wasn't really. It was pretty lackluster. I mean, it was okay leading up to it, but if you go back and you watch that Attitude Era around that time when Jericho won both belts, beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night, it was sort of a flop in a way.
Yeah,
it was.
They also had to follow Hogan and Rock.
Yeah, that's also the other thing. On the WrestleMania card, when you got it's like a Triple H and Randy Orton when they had to follow Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. How are you supposed to follow that?
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
And I think the way the story went, they came in, they're like, all right, y'all are fifth on the card. And Taker's like, fifth? Fifth.
Yeah.
Okay. And he just laces his boots up, and he's like, all right, fifth. You want fifth? Okay. And I don't know if, that was, then we see arguably one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time in Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, won at WrestleMania 25.
Mm-hmm.
So, but speaking of WrestleMania weekend, one thing is returning, though, and that is the Slammy Awards. If you're new to this and you're just getting into professional wrestling, the Slammys are basically like the Oscars for professional wrestling.
I believe they're fan-voted, too.
Yes. I think most of the time they are fan-voted. So, it won't be on... I don't think it's going to be on Peacock or anything, or Netflix or anything like that. It will just be on all of their social media platforms, but it will take place April 20th, pretty much the weekend.
During the day of night 2.
Yes, during the day of night 2 of WrestleMania, that Sunday, And yes, it will go across all social media platforms. And typically during that, they will have awards like, Wrestler of the Year. I think
Match of the year, OMG Moment of the Year.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, I'm on.
While you're doing that, they used to do these Slammies, I think, at the end of the year. And I didn't realize that they actually did it during WWE World last year. I didn't realize they did that last year.
Did it? Oh, did they?
Yeah, because I was looking up about this, and I found out, they did it last year during the WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember reading anything about that from last year.
I was going to say, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got 2020. Yeah, I have 2020 on March 22nd, 2024. Exactly a year from today. It was announced that the Slammies were returning and the winners would be entirely determined by fan votes. The voting ran March 22nd till the 7th, with the winners being announced on April 7th from WWE World, like what Josh just said, in a ceremony hosted by Kathy Kelly and Big E. The awards were Female Superstar of the Year, Male Superstar of the Year, Best Entrance of the Year, Return of the Year, Faction of the Year, Rivalry of the Year, NXT Superstar of the Year, Breakout Superstar of the Year, OMG Moment of the Year, Social Star of the Year. You want to know who won that one?
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre. Yeah. Oh, the hatred he has for CM Punk can power a small village. Let's see. Match of the Year, Mic Drop of the Year, Rizzy of the Year, Trash Talker of the Year, Villain of the Year, and Fan Chant of the Year. So, as far as the Fan Chant of the Year, last year it was none other than
Yeah!
Yeah.
So, but that is what they have for last year so far. Okay, they actually have it up here. Well, let's see, this 2025 Slammy Awards. So far, they have Female Superstar of the Year. There's just categories. Female Superstar of the Year, Male Superstar of the Year, Most Memorable Entrance, OMG Moment of the Year, Faction of the Year, Tag, Rivalry of the Year, NXT Superstar of the Year, Match of the Year, WTF Moment of the Year, Social Star of the Year, and Breakout Superstar of the Year.
Yeah.
And just to give you a few records right before we go to on this day in wrestling history, most wins at the Slammies, it's tied with 15. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Most wins in a single year is tied between Shawn Michaels in 1996 and Seth Rollins in 2014 with 6. Most nominations, Seth Rollins with 38.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Most nominations in a single year. In 2014, Seth Rollins was nominated 15 times. So, I guess you could say that 2014 definitely was the year of Rollins.
Yeah.
He really did break out that year.
He might be having himself a second WrestleMania main event.
He might.
Well, marquee one.
Yeah.
Third overall.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, yeah, they're going to have the triple threat match between
announced
Roman.
that, yep.
Yeah, Roman. They talked about that on SmackDown. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Which some people are now saying that should have been one of the world heavyweight title match. I can see that point of view, but I also feel like that kind of discredits Gunther. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't saying it to his face.
Yeah.
All right, if y'all on the IWC want to be my guest, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing that. Anyway, on this day in wrestling history. March 23rd, 1997, WrestleMania 13 took place at the Rosemont Horizon in suburban Chicago. The event would provide long-term fans with one of the greatest matches in the history of professional wrestling, while the rest of the card was lackluster to say the least, which was reflected in the TV build-up and low buy rate for the pay-per-view.
What match was that?
WrestleMania 13, that was Austin versus Hart.
Owen Hart?
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
Yep, that was Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Because then the year before that, WrestleMania 12, he had, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels have the Iron Man match. Then, 13 was Bret Austin, and then 14 was Austin Michaels. So there's your quick little history lesson on that. March 23rd, 2004, at the WWE SmackDown tapings in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Kurt Angle was declared the new general manager of the Blue Brand the night after Paul Heyman quit. In storyline, as a result of being drafted to Raw, in further fallout from the draft lottery, Triple H was traded back to Raw without ever making a SmackDown appearance.
He didn't want to work SmackDown.
He didn't want to work Tuesdays. That's what it was. Another callback to another promo.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Dudley Boys and Booker T went the other way in exchange. On the same show, Bradshaw debuted the John Bradshaw Layfield gimmick that would transform his career in WWE in a matter of weeks.
And the reason why he became WWE champion because Triple H didn't want to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, he didn't want to do that.
At least that's what was said.
yeah, that's what was said at ECW One Night Stand 2005, actually.
Yeah.
But JBL, like, the Bradshaw gimmick was cool, but the JBL gimmick, the wrestling god, all of that put him on the map.
Yeah.
That pretty much.
Him and Eddie.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, but and also if you think of it like this, we're talking about John Cena.
Yeah.
JBL, Bradshaw going to JBL really set it up a year later for John Cena to take the belt off of him to start his legendary run at the top.
Yeah.
So it's all a domino effect.
Yeah.
March 23rd, 2015, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Mark Henry, and Roman Reigns were victorious over Bray Wyatt, Kane, Seth Rollins, and Big Show on the go-home edition of WWE Monday Night Raw for WrestleMania 31 from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Sting also opened Raw for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and pause right there and take a quick break. When we come back, we got some more wrestling news. We got New Japan stuff, AEW stuff. Steven Spielberg.
More news.
Yeah, we do. We got some more news coming up, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
It's time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. I'm joined by Josh Cole. Bye-bye.
You get nothing.
We got nothing. John Cena made sure he told us that.
Yeah.
Also, yes, the memes. We were talking about this at the break. The memes are wonderful.
Yes.
When he made he's even made the you can't see me joke.
Yeah.
He's like, he knows the joke. I love it that he said that. He's like, y'all have made me into an invisible meme for years, for the past 15 years. And then somebody's like, why is his hat and shirt talking to me now?
So there's various lines throughout the promo people have memed, like when your boss tells you something or whatever.
Oh yeah, you get nothing. Or not,
when you ask for a raise, you get nothing.
Memes are the only thing that is keeping all of us going. Yeah. But one thing that is keeping David Finlay going, he just won the New Japan Cup, defeating Shota Umino to win the New Japan Cup. He will face Hiroki Goto for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Sakura Genesis on April 5th. And if you're wondering, Finlay, that sounds rather familiar. Yes, that is the son of Fit Finlay.
Yeah.
I will say, when I first realized that he was wrestling in New Japan, he was a little lukewarm. But he has sort of come around. Now, I don't know if I would have him main event material, but he has definitely improved. He's part of the Bullet Club War Dogs, I believe. So he's part of that faction and everything. So yes,
I don't really know much about him other than him being Fit Finlay's son.
Yeah, he's Fit Finlay's son, and he wrestles in New Japan. So another person, somebody else that you have heard of, I've heard of, everybody has heard of, but who I just found out is sort of a wrestling fan, or at least an old school wrestling fan, is Steven Spielberg. Would you believe that, Josh?
Not really, no.
See, it catches you off guard.
Yeah. I mean, granted, when they were kids, sure, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he still follows it, but he definitely, according to Chavo Guerrero, who was on Busted Open Radio, Steven Spielberg is an old-school wrestling fan. Quote, I just finished working with Steven Spielberg, just finished. The movie is still not out yet, and he was a wrestling fan. We were exchanging Andre the Giant stories, and when he used to watch wrestling down at the Grand Olympic Auditorium, and John Tolos, the Golden Greek, used to be one of his favorites. That's how you know he's an old school wrestling fan.
That is
exactly. Used to be one of his favorites, and we're talking about all of this stuff, and these are people that I grew up with, that I've known since I was a kid, and to have that rapport with Spielberg, he was a fan because he got it. He understood the entertainment value of pro wrestling, end quote. So somebody who is known for their movies in the entertainment industry understands professional wrestling.
Yeah.
It's almost like professional wrestling is universal.
Oh, my.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I tell people quite often. Well, I don't want to say quite often, but I tell friends of mine from time to time, or coworkers, or whoever's willing to listen to me, that everything circles back to wrestling. And I'm not trying to get into politics, but you think about politics, even before everything that's going on now.
Our president is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but politics, look at the Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Easily transitioned over into politics.
Mm-hmm.
That's there. Basic storytelling is professional wrestling 101. You got a good guy, you got a bad guy, you have a conflict, and you clash to have this conflict, you have a climax, and then you have your resolution. That's basic storytelling 101.
Yeah.
Everything reverts back to wrestling. Even, I would say, sometimes when it comes to sports. Okay, when you have when you have somebody a certain personality on a team, people are going to gravitate towards that personality.
Yeah.
They're going to know who that person is. For example, with football, you have Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He is called the GOAT for a reason.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a psychopath, but he is called the GOAT for a reason. John Cena, bit of a psychopath. How dare you do that to that child? To say that to that child.
Yeah.
He was ruined.
Good Lord.
John Cena,
No more wishes
the GOAT.
for you.
Yeah. But it all of it reverts back to professional wrestling. And I don't know, maybe that's too much. Theater, y'all. Okay. Yeah. Homicide retires from professional.
That was a transition.
That was. It's just the next story I got lined up here. Homicide has retired from professional wrestling after 31 years at an outlaw wrestling event in Brooklyn, New York on March 20th. Homicide was in a tag team with Bull James against Mike Santana and Alpha Jr. The match with a disqualification, but Homicide demanded the match be restarted with no disqualification, this being his retirement match. The referee agreed. Homicide announced his retirement due to his brain, and that has started to impair his speech and vision. Homicide is also most notable for his time in TNA and Ring of Honor. And we wish him, retirement.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. And yes, this took place in Brooklyn, New York. He is from Brooklyn. And at the end of the show, for some of you baseball fans out there, I cannot say exactly what he said about the Mets, but he did not have kind words to say about the New York Mets. But just to transition over, we'll go over to what has been going on with Alberto El Patron.
Or Alberto Del Rio for the WWE people who don't know him by any other name.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Alberto Del Rio, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio. During a AAA show on March 14th, El Patron, Del Rio, was seen on fan footage to have some type of fan. He tried to jump the guard. Yeah, he tried to jump the guardrail in one spot, but moved over to the left side of the arena and successfully jumped the guardrail there. After some words were exchanged, El Patron was seen throwing a chair at a fan, to which he was then met with a chair thrown at him, along with some other projectiles, until he returned to ringside. This was during a match with El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., or the son of Dr. Wagner Jr., TV Azteca confirmed that this altercation started after throwing beer and coins at El Patron. The chair that El Patron threw hit a woman and was taken to a hospital. The local wrestling commission issued a 6-month ban on El Patron. This will not affect any AAA shows unless that show is in Tijuana. And
more of the story: don't throw chairs at elderly people.
Don't throw. Okay. This is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Don't throw chairs at elderly people. Yes. Like that, even if you take professional wrestling out of it, just don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
If you're even thinking of going in that direction, don't do it. But why are you okay with throwing coins at somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that hurts.
Yeah.
And I know professional wrestling's not easy.
I know El Patron ain't a great guy. But
Yeah, like, we all know that he is, his reputation perceives him in certain aspects, and maybe that is why this suspension came about the way it did. Why, like, it goes both ways. Why do people think it's okay to throw beer? And we don't know if it was full beers or whatever, but to just throw beer at them and to throw coins.
yeah.
I mean, that's, like, I know that there's people out there who's like, oh, talking about the old school wrestling and stuff. I know that, I think it's back in Puerto Rico with WWC, World Wrestling Council. They would throw battery acid at people.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I'm not condoning that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't, like, okay, a little bit of a rant from me. I know that you buy your ticket and you're like, I can do what I want.
No.
I hate that. I hate that attitude of, I bought this ticket, I can do what I want. No, you cannot. Like, there are certain things that you should not do. How many times, Josh, have we seen as professional wrestling fans over the years, somebody jumps the guardrail and they get into the ring, and what happens to them?
Yeah.
All right. Like, even if it happens these days, it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. But back in the day, I mean, there's the video of Austin and Triple H in Germany. Fan jumps the railing, goes after Austin. Triple H, who is the heel, doesn't know what he's supposed to do at this point, and he just slams the fan down. And I think it was Mike Chioda who was the referee. They just started kicking the snot out of that dude.
Yeah.
No, I hate that. Anyway, I hate that attitude.
Get you a ticket to the show to be entertained, not to become a part of the show and do things that might otherwise be illegal.
Yeah, that might be illegal. That might start some type of riot.
Yeah.
I don't want maybe not that far, but like you might injure somebody.
Yeah.
Or here's another thing, and this has nothing to do with professional wrestling. About a week or so ago, week and a half ago, we are at a concert. And there's people behind us. I hate this. People behind us who are talking, and they are they're talking so loud you can hear them over the music. It has nothing to do with the show. Same thing like any type of event. If I am there and I'm trying to pay attention to the show, whether it's a professional wrestling show or whether it's a concert or whatever, do not take the talk somewhere else.
Yeah,
take it somewhere else. And like my brothers and I, we've went to wrestling shows. My brother's had beer spilt on him before from people who were just had a little too much, and they're not paying attention, and they spilled a whole beer down the side of him.
I have a comment on that in a minute, but
it's like I don't know. Just don't do it.
Yeah,
just don't do it. I understand why the commission did give Patron this 6-month ban from Tijuana, because I think some of that is his reputation that does perceive him, but also this would not have started if he was not getting coins thrown at him.
Yeah.
And if he didn't respond the way he did, I don't think the ban would have happened either. But again, it all started once fans were throwing coins and beer at him.
Yeah.
So I'll hand it off to Josh because he has a comment.
So okay,
maybe it started with drunk fans anyway.
It's related to that. I'm going to be in a very small minority here. I don't think beer should be at shows.
Really?
Yeah, because of things like this.
Fair.
And just stupid things happen.
Yeah. No, I get that point of view. I get the other side because there's people who.
But I'm also kind of the person why do you have to drink to enjoy a show?
Yeah.
I'm not a drinker myself, but still.
Yeah. No, I get that. I understand where some people are like, I would like to have a couple of adult beverages, not Stone Cold levels of I had 1 beer, 2 beer, 3 beer, a Bloody Mary. We're not getting plastered, but what? But hold on, where am I? There it is. Yeah, all right. I just had to throw that in there. I get you don't want a few people to be punished for the behavior of the many, but I get your point of view there because that is the issue that is the problems that do come about. It's kind of like when Milan Puskar Stadium up in Morgantown started selling beer.
Yeah.
I know people who went to Mountaineer games for years, and they quit going because they started selling alcohol. So, like, I guess I'm neither on this. I don't really care either way. There's some wrestling promotions you go to that don't sell beer, and then there's some wrestling promotions you go to and you can buy a whole pitcher and sit there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing crazy. Beer at bowling. That just does not sound like a good combination.
I've done that a couple times. I've been there a couple times. Okay, listen. This involves wrestling. Okay, all right. I've been to a couple of they weren't tournaments. It's just friends going out. I went to a couple of times bowling, and some drinks have been brought out. Some buckets and pitchers have been brought out. And next thing I know, I am guttering the ball while turning around and doing the Ric Flair strut, thinking I'm cool, and I just completely missed the pins. So, like, that's the entertainment side of it. Like, a friend of mine, we would, it was him and I against two other people, and anytime we would hit the pins, we would too sweet each other. Like, we would sit there, we would, like, do the whole, like, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Like, see, Josh, everything reverts back to wrestling.
That's right.
But
I mean, I'll say catchphrases to my friend who knows nothing about wrestling.
Don't you love that? Yeah. They just kind of look at you like a deer in headlights. Like,
and then eventually they start saying, not even really knowing what it is. But
that's true. It is always. I'll say this: it warms my heart when there's somebody that is not a wrestling fan or wasn't a wrestling fan, and then they come up to you and they're like. They're trying to understand it, and they're like, okay, this is a promotion, right? This is a heel. This is a face. Like, they're actively trying to understand this world. Like, it warms my heart. I'm happy when I see such things like that.
There's the Zack Ryder, at the beginning of his theme song's like woo woo woo, who's little thing. I say that stupidly to my friends, and he's started to say it every now and then.
It was like a meme before, like, memes became what they are now.
I also yell a lot to him.
Oh, yeah. Like, I used to make my mom mad when I was a teenager because I would say what. She would be talking about what, what. Like, Jeffrey, I'm going to give you something to what about here in a second if you don't quit.
Yeah.
Listen, even though I'm 30 and I'm on the younger side of things, my mother was still old school about things.
Yeah.
Now, she wasn't like Undertaker old school, like jumping off the top rope, doing the old school like.
I used to have guns and knives in the locker room. None of this video game stuff.
I think we're better off with the video games, Taker. Yeah. Got respect for what you did for the business, but I think it's better that we got the video games.
Yeah.
Oh, last thing before we get to the main event, AEW Dynasty is starting to shape up. Due to a double pin by Speedball Mike Bailey, and Ricochet, they both will face Kenny Omega for the AEW International Championship at Dynasty in a triple threat match. Elsewhere, after she defeated Chris Statlander, Megan Bayne will face Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. Now, I've seen some conversation online. Some people want Megan Bayne to go ahead and get it. They want Toni to go ahead and drop the belt. I don't know if I'm there yet.
Yeah.
She just came off of a hot feud with Mariah May.
Yeah, it feels way too soon.
Yeah. I think people are worried because they have been giving Megan Bayne, they've been pushing her and showing her as this force to be reckoned with. I think Toni Storm is good enough in the ring to be able to pull this off, win the match, but also still make Megan Bayne look like $1 million.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it, but I would rather Toni Storm have the belt for at least a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Maybe test this out and then later on circle back to Megan Bayne. But yeah. Also, after gruesomely taking Cope's bat spike to the back on this past week's Dynamite and retaining his title, Jon Moxley will officially defend the AEW World Championship against Swerve Strickland.
That was nasty.
Woo! That was a lot. I'll say this: that was a pay-per-view spot.
Yeah.
Like the fact, I'll say this: people can say what they want about Jon Moxley, And I am not the biggest fan of the deathmatch stuff, hardcore wrestling. Sometimes I like it. I think there's a time and place for it. I felt like there was a time and place for this. I don't think this was the time nor the place for such a spot.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like that was more of a pay-per-view spot. Like I would rather people pay money to want to see that instead of it just being on free TV. But I'll say this, give Jon Moxley his flowers though, because he was having a lot of travel issues to get there.
He drove 11 hours just to get there?
Yeah, he drove 11 hours to get there, which is crazy.
They couldn't take any planes in there because storms or something.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad storms last week. I think we had a tornado outbreak in the Midwest, down into the South last week. So that a lot of flights were canceled and not happening. I give him flowers there because most people would have said, "All right, I can't make it."
Yeah.
But instead, he got into the car and drove 11 hours. I mean, give the guy a vacation. Now, I'll say this, one of the funnier things that came out of this, we talk about memes, and Jon Moxley's wife, Renee Paquette, she does not shy away from poking fun at her husband because she took the screenshot of the nails in the back and was like, "That's my emergency contact." So, I think, I did not see Cope winning this one anyway. I thought it was I thought this past Dynamite was a good episode of Dynamite, especially with what they had at their disposal with all the storms that were going on. But yeah, that was not a free TV spot.
No,
that was a pay-per-view spot. It's kind of like the pizza cutter. That's not a free TV spot. That is a pay-per-view spot.
That timing though was great with that one.
That was perfect timing. That was sheer coincidence though. It had to have been. I wonder, just coming from being my background being in production, I put myself in the head of that director that threw that to commercial in his LinkedIn picture, and it's like, oh, we got a Domino's commercial while he's using a pizza cutter on Jericho.
Yeah.
Oh,
you want a slice of Jericho?
No, nobody wants a slice of Jericho. But like I said, I don't know. That's my thought on the Moxley spot. Do you want to put your 2 cents on that?
Looked like it hurt.
I think
it was supposed to stick in like that.
I don't think it was either.
There's a part, I didn't catch it when it aired live, but there's a clip. Wheeler Yuta goes up to him trying to help him get it off, and John's like, do the spot.
Then he goes out, and Cope picks him into the table.
Pulling skin off his back.
Yeah, and then we'll go to, after I saw that, I had to look up old Mick Foley and Terry Funk's hardcore spots. Yeah. Apparently there's one, it was in ECW that involved a flaming chair. And it was Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, and Mick Foley. There is not that much footage of this. That's how bad it was. Yeah. Wrestling's not for the faint of heart sometimes. I will say this, for children, if you got small kids, some promotions are not for kids. Not for kids at all. There's certain promotions that are. I don't want to say that AEW is not for kids all the time, but then there's spots like that where it's like, woo! No. Then again, here I am thinking about that, and I remember when Randy Orton got thrown into the thing of thumbtacks from Mick Foley when he was attempting an RKO.
Yeah. Thumbtacks always make me cringe.
It's a visually it is it's a jar.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, doesn't that hurt? I know wrestling hurts in general, but to be willingly all right, throw me on that bed of thumbtacks right now. I mean, that's like the stuff that you would see over in Big Japan Pro Wrestling now. Back in the day, FMW were a deathmatch promotion over in Japan. You see some of the stuff, we saw from Jon Moxley is kind of mild compared to what other deathmatch stuff I've seen. It's a lot. But anyway, here's the main event.
It looks like all the talking has been done. It's time for the main event.
Welcome to the main event. Thursday, March 27th, New Blood 20. Yep, Stardom is a Joshi promotion over in Japan. Also, Saturday and Sunday, March 29th and 30th, Game Changer.
Speaking of death matches.
Yeah, we'll hold No Compadre on Saturday, followed by America's Most Wanted on Sunday.
That's
speaking of
America's
death matches.
spelled with a Z at the end.
It's edgy.
Yeah.
And speaking of death matches, Game Changer Wrestling. Be warned. Be warned, folks.
Karrion Kross, just speak of GCW, he'll be at the Bloodsport event during WrestleMania week.
Okay.
And so will Pete Dunne.
Okay, the Josh Barnett Bloodsport stuff. Okay, cool. Which we'll keep you all updated to the best that we can. There's so many events that go on the week of WrestleMania.
So just to FYI, I was putting that together. There's too many to list, so I just put a few on there.
Okay.
Just a few of the notable ones.
You know what? We'll figure that part out when we get to it. Because also, like, the weather's getting warmer, so there's a lot of local wrestling. Speaking of local wrestling.
There's not a lot that week just because.
Yes, but there's still a lot of promotions like to put shows on. The weather's warmer. But yeah. And speaking of local wrestling, on Thursday, March 27th, Premier Wrestling at Mid-Atlantic returns to Concord University in Athens, West Virginia. This is a free show with a bell time of 6 o'clock. On Friday, March 28th, Real Shoot Wrestling will be at the Canal Lounge in Buchanan, West Virginia, presenting No Loss,
No Love.
Bell time is 9 o'clock, and admission is $10, but this show is ages 21 and up. On Saturday, March 29th, United States Wrestling returns to action at the Elmore Volunteer Fire Department in Elmore, West Virginia, presenting
United We Stand, Dos, Two, Trois. For America.
Bell time is 7 o'clock. Ringside is $25, while general admission is $15. This will also feature wrestlers from Real Shoot Wrestling. Also, and this is the last one, on Saturday, World Domination Wrestling Alliance will be in action for
Head Games
at the Bennington Volunteer Fire Department in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Bell time is 6:15, and tickets are $20. I feel like Jason's going to have something to say about that when he comes back. Anyway, that is the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take our final break, and when we come back, we're just going to wrap it all up and finish out the episode. So stay tuned.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. I'm joined here with Josh Cole. Bye-bye.
That's right.
We're in the last few minutes of our show.
Got a question for you.
What's up?
So I'm pretty hungry right now. So how much would you pay to have dinner with John Cena?
To have dinner with an invisible man?
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay anything.
Well,
I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
If you want to have dinner with John Cena during WrestleMania week, you pay a whopping $25,000.
My question is, like, how many times is he going to have dinner?
Yeah,
over WrestleMania week with fans.
Yeah. I guess it's. I don't know.
I saw that and I was like, okay, maybe Green Shirt Guy will do that.
Yeah,
he's got the money. I don't know what he does for a living.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's like at every PLE. He's even been at AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah, like he is. That's what I mean. I guess he just drives around on like an RV or something, going to wrestling events.
I guess.
Like he has to be like work at home type person to where like, or he just has like a huge inheritance, and he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna live my best life. Also, how many shirts does he have? The green guy.
Just the one.
Just the one. He washes it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not the original. Like, he washed it so much, that thing wore out. This is all.
We have our own Green Shirt Guy.
Do we really?
Remember? We saw him at Slam Plaza.
Oh, there is. I wonder. We're recording this on Saturday. We're going to ASW tonight. I wonder if we'll see him there. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our trip to ASW next week. Like I said, we were going to include it on this show.
We're going to record actually on Sunday, but yeah.
Yeah, we had full intentions to do so, but where they are moving studios and they got to come in here and move stuff around. We got to go ahead and get the recording out of the way. But we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
And maybe we saw Green Shirt Guy.
How much would you pay to have dinner with John Cena?
Let us know. thegrillout95@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/thegrillout. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at thegrillout.bsky.social. Yeah, let us know how much you would pay to have dinner with John Cena. Let us know what you thought of AEW Dynamite, what you thought of the Jon Moxley Cope Bat Spike Spot, what you thought of John Cena's interview, among other things that we talked about on this episode. And I think that's about all we got right now, Josh.
Yeah.
And until next time, fellow wrestling fans, have a good one.
Goodbye, and good night.